Hey guys, so welcome and thank you for tuning in to another exciting episode of the Money Talk Show with your favorite financial advisor, Chris Beecher, your financial advisor's favorite financial advisor. So, guys, I want to say a big thank you. Thus far, you guys have been liking, subscribing, sharing, and commenting on all these videos, and the channel is growing. Really appreciate your support. And so I have a hot topic for you today, and it's all about your mindset and the decisions that you make, right? And so often we say that, the average of your 5 friends is who you're going to be. So if you're hanging around people who are rich, more than likely you are going to be the next rich person. If you're hanging around 5 people who are poor or who have a poor mindset, because poverty is really a mindset, you know what I'm saying? Uh, guess what? You are probably going to be number 6 in line. So today I want to talk about the three-way analysis test, and I coined it the Beecher three-way analysis test because on the cusp of 2020, right before COVID hit, I got this one downloaded into my neurons, you know what I'm saying? And everybody was talking about 2020 being the year of vision, the year of clarity, and all of these things. And I got my vision, I got my clarity, and I got a word. And so I developed the Beecher three-way analysis test as a way or criteria to help me in terms of my productivity and my actions, because a lot of what happens to us in life is directly proportional or related to actions which we previously did. In other words, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, but also every action is going to determine the type of outcomes that we have. And so when it comes on to your life, we have to recognize that you are the main character. If life were to be a movie, you are the star of the show. You are also the playwright of the show. So the way your life turns out is ultimately going to be determined by you, because you wrote the story, you wrote the script. You are also, the choreographer. You understand me? You are going to be the one in charge of how are you going to arrange or put the fine little bits together in your life so that you have the best possible outcome. You are the director and the CEO of your life. And so the Beecher three-way analysis test is just a 3-step process, of which if you get 2 of them out of the 3, you can go ahead and do that activity or that action. But at the same time, if 2 out of the 3 don't check, forget it. It's not even worth it. If you get all 3, you can go ahead, boom. If all 3 are wrong, don't do it. If you have 1 out of 2, right, and the one that you have is a negative and you have 2 positives, you can go ahead and do that activity. So let's get right into it, guys, and I have a special surprise for you at the end of the video, so just keep watching until then. So the first test in the three-way analysis test is this: is this action or is this activity that I'm doing, is it adding value or subtracting value from my life? So in other words, with everything I do, I have to always be asking myself the question, is it going to be an activity that's going to make me better, or is it going to make me worse? So is eating potato chips, is eating burger and fries every day adding value or subtracting value from my health? The answer is it's subtracting value from my health, because ultimately I'm not going to feel as good. I'm going to get fat. I'm going to be challenged with my size, and ultimately it might lead to cardiovascular issues down the line. Whereas on the other hand, if I eat stuff like fruits and vegetables, smoothies, or even if I just make healthier choices by eating broiled chicken or baked chicken or baked products as opposed to heavily fried foods, This is an action that's adding value to my life versus subtracting it in the case of fried foods. And we can even apply it to our finances. Is the action of going out religiously with friends from Monday to Friday, or living just for the weekend, spending my rent money, as the song says. I know my bills were going to be late from about a week ago because you already spent that money up in the club, so to speak. Are these activities actually adding value? No, that's subtracting value from you. You're actually getting a negative balance, and you're losing out on your net worth. So we have to be very careful of the activities that we you know be a part of. And also, by extension, there's a saying from the Bible that says, bad company ruins good morals. So sometimes it's not just a personal thing. Remember, I started off the video saying that you are the average product of the people you spend most of the time with. So if you are spending time with persons who are participating in negative activity, gossiping, bringing down people, smoking, drinking, just mindless spending every weekend, or going out to drink all the time, instead of partnering with people who are discussing ideas, people who are going to leadership conferences, getting into the mind of a mentor, or attaching yourself to a mentor, you know, these are the type of activities that have a positive outcome. So rule number one in the self-analysis test is this activity, right? Does it have, right, a position in my life where it's going to add value, or is it going to subtract value? So boom, that's the first one. The second one is this: is this action, or is this activity that I'm participating in, is it an asset, or is it a liability? And Kiyosaki always says, just to put it really simple, an asset is something that puts money into your pocket. It fattens your bank account. It's a deposit. A liability is a withdrawal. It's something that takes money out of your bank account. So just to put it simple for people who are not very au fait with this thing, a house, for example, in Jamaica we say, why you a fool, you rent house your whole life, but I buy a house, because you need for increase a thing, man. You need for step up. You cannot pay or live in a rent house your whole life. Now listen, guys, my advice would be this: do not buy a house before you are ready, and make sure that whenever you do buy a house, that it's your mortgage that you're paying is not more than 25% of your take home pay, or the total income of your household, if a spouse is involved. However, a house can be both an asset or a liability. Let's look at it from the point of a liability. You're running and you buy a house, right? And it's great. Overall, houses tend to appreciate over time, and so it's a part of your total wealth portfolio in owning that house. But at the same time, the mortgage plan that you got, and the time and the interest rate were just not the best, but you were just rushing to get the transaction done. You didn't do a proper check on the house to realize that, all right, some of the electricals in the house needed to be changed out. There was some structural damage that over time you had to take care of. Or maybe the sewage system, maybe the pipes over time they rusted out, and you had to change it out. So you're paying a high mortgage, right, for one, and because of age or because of structural deficiencies, actually have a lot of repairs and renovations. So this house continues to be a money pit, and it takes money out of your bank account. So that the action in and of itself of buying a house was good, but it became a liability because you didn't do your checks and balances, right? Taking money out of your pocket. At the same time, the house can be an asset because you could have bought a property, and you got the property for a good price, where the mortgage that you're paying is 25% or less of your total income. And so you can put a tenant in there, and maybe your tenant is probably paying the full amount of the mortgage or more. And so over time, your house is paid for, you're generating income. And even as a house appreciates over time, there's going to be some deterioration to the house because of age, but the asset of the house with having a tenant in, they're able to also pay for the renovations through the rent that you're renting them the house for. Likewise, there are some activities that are liabilities. Um, Activities that are liabilities are just hanging out with people who aren't going anywhere in life, hanging out with people who are too comfortable to want more in life. So them just comfortable sitting down and the one job and never wanting to aspire to become manager, or never wanting to aspire to start their own business, or never wanting to aspire to learn more in leadership, or actually step out of their comfort zone, right? And then you have actions that are an asset, where you can start going to leadership conferences, you can start attaching yourself to a mentor, that sort of a thing. And the more you learn is the more that you earn. Assets that actions that are also assets, going to actually get a degree or getting a higher degree, learning more in your skill or your trade, or acquiring particular tools that you need to make more money. So you have a business, you have to invest in it. Yes, initially it might be a liability because you put in a lot of equity. I shouldn't really use the word equity. You put in a lot of cash into it, so it's risky, but you're building a lot of equity in your business, because long term, these tools that you bought for your business are going to increase sales over time. So yeah, so you have to, in the second part of the three-way test, is this activity, or are the things that I'm doing, are they going to be an asset or a liability to me overall? And that's a part of making important choices. No, the third point in the Beecher three-way test, and you can adapt it to your entire life, is this activity, is this thing that I'm doing, is this person, or are the persons that I'm hanging out with, does it have an overall positive effect or emotion attached to it, or does it have a negative effect or emotion attached to it? In other words, when I hang out with this girl, or when I hang out with this guy, at the end of the evening, do I leave feeling uplifted? Do I leave feeling encouraged? Do I leave feeling on top of the world? Do I leave feeling inspired? Or when I hang out with this person or this set of people, do I leave feeling worthless? Do I leave feeling like somebody is better than me? Do I leave feeling like I can't achieve nothing because I'm stuck in this situation because of the type of mindset that they have? So we have to be very clear, and we have to be very careful of the choices that we make. And likewise, just to give you another simple example, I love hamburger, but these days every time I eat hamburger, I get heartburn. So there is a negative effect, emotion, or association with eating a hamburger now. However, I know that when I eat fruits and vegetables, it's not as palatable to me when I initially eat it. Some people it's more palatable to. But overall, I feel better, I feel lighter on my feet. I'm not gonna get that heartburn. I have that glow. So guys, we all have decisions to make, and the decisions that we ultimately take is going to direct our lives. And one of the guides that you can use to make good decisions is the Beecher three-way analysis test. And again, if you check 2 out of 3 on the test in a positive way, you can go through and do the activity, you can go through and make the purchase. If you have 2 or 3 negative, that's a no-no. So you have to have at least 2 in the positive way for go through. Best if you can say all 3. And at the same time, if you have 2 negative ones, no, don't go no further. So again, the Beecher three-way analysis test, is this activity, right, adding value, or is it subtracting value from my life? We're talking about personal development. Number 2, is this activity ultimately going to be an asset or a liability? When we do it, am I going to lose money, or am I going to gain money from doing it? And number 3, is this activity that I'm about to do, because we're creatures of habit, right? In the past, did I have a positive emotion or effect from it? Or did it make me feel bad, and every time I know I do this activity, I always end up in this situation guys, you can use this three-way test to get ahead. All right, and remember, you are the director, you are the main character, you are the playwright for your life. God is in control, but there's a lot that you have to do with it here on the earth based on the choices that you make. So I hope that using the Beecher three-way analysis test, you can use it to help guide your decisions to win with your personal life and your finances. Now, I said that I had a surprise for you. You heard me talking about house, and Jamaica is a place where construction industry is booming, and it seems to be that real estate is on the tip of everybody's tongue. Everybody is investing, things starting to flow again. So I'm going to invite and have on the Money Talk show with me my good friend Paulette Bedward, who is a licensed real estate agent. Everything she touches turns to sold. People, you don't want to miss it. We're going to go through the entire process of what it is to budget to buy your first home, the process of actually buying a house, the documents that you will need. Guys, you don't want to miss the next episode of the Money Talk show, where we feature Miss Paulette Bedward. So guys, thank you for tuning in tonight or today, depending on when you're watching this video. This is your favorite financial advisor, Christopher Beecher. One love, respect, and thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing. The page is growing. So one love and respect. Keep on tuning in for more exciting content. Big up. Blessings.